Let's hear from the coach. This is Behind the Beard with Bobby Smirniotis, Forge FC head coach and sporting director. Now, the woman who takes us there, here's Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge.
You're starting to notice
Audio
these
Network.
things.
It's the week of details.
Only 40 podcast episodes later, and now you're
40,
looking
is
at
that
the
our
camera.
total?
I actually don't know, but
We don't have a 50th anniversary yet?
honestly, I feel like it could.
This is like 25.
This is 25, and I think we did 25 last year-ish.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's not.
Did we pass it?
The ish isn't good enough.
Okay,
We need concrete
you're right.
numbers.
You prefer concrete numbers.
Yes.
I'll do some calculating and get back to you.
All right. What do we got this week?
Well,
No notebook, no laptop. I don't know if somebody's come prepared today.
I think I am.
Okay.
But let's not jinx it, okay?
No.
I feel ready and capable.
Let's just bring up facts.
I just figure, last couple episodes I need to really show up and be.
Yeah, okay.
First thing is the rain. Let's talk about that in Pacific.
Oh, yes.
I can't really tell if the weather wants to be winter, summer, spring. Like today, for example, felt like summer.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Then I
Last
was
3
looking-
days.
Yeah. I was watching the broadcast and everybody was like, the visual of you in the press conference after was so funny. Your head was just absolutely soaked.
Yeah, it was raining hard. It wouldn't stop. That was thinking. It was raining from the day before, all day of the game. It was miserable. It's the first time we've been out there, and it hasn't been all sunshine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually going to ask.
Yeah, and I think we've never been there that late in the season. So we've been there in the spring. I remember one year we kicked off the year there, but I don't think we had ever been there that late into the year. So
Yeah.
maybe that's normal weather around
Because I
there.
thought around this time, BC is kind of bad for that when you can't
Yeah.
see the sun.
Looks much nicer in the sun.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyways, glad you got through it. Do the guys enjoy that? Do you find does it really affect the morale? For example, at halftime.
I don't think they mind. Once you're playing and once you're going through things, it just makes sometimes the game a little bit difficult with the ball really moving quickly, skipping off of the turf. Their field being a very small one, it congests the spaces. But when a player gets going, I don't think he minds much. The rain's not going to hurt him. It's more of the extreme heat. That's a problem.
True.
I think usually that's the biggest one. Because even in cold weather, you can adjust. Your body warms up to it. Your body gets as best accustomed to it. It's extreme heat that's always the
heat
tough
is
one.
bad, and I
Can't
remember
do
that
much.
from my small playing career.
You're already in shorts and a t-shirt.
The only thing, yeah. The only thing I couldn't stand about playing in the winter, even though I could eventually warm up, was how hard the ball felt.
Yeah.
It felt like a brick getting hit by.
I think the better quality of the ball and the ones we used are usually
True.
pretty good.
They're gonna give you a little bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit more give. It's gonna feel like it's gonna feel like you're kicking a ball as
that's the word I was
opposed to
looking
a
for.
rock. So
Yeah.
that makes a difference as well.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about this game, and then of course this weekend against Cavalry, and then we have our first ever guest on Behind the Beard coming.
Guest.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't clean up here.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm looking
Somebody
forward to this.
who's shocker has been in your office
Yeah.
before and probably won't mind the state.
Oh, good God.
Hey, you do have fewer shoes, by the way. What's going on? You've got
that
only
is
3 or
correct.
4 pairs.
They're probably inside that door.
Yeah, okay. Hiding.
There's about 6 pairs over there.
Behind closed doors now.
Yes.
Okay, let's start by talking about the lineup for Forge this past weekend. There was some rotation. We saw Chris back in net, Amadou up top next to Jordan, and then also Kadim in the center midfield as Ali was serving his 1-game suspension. So we know how good and impactful Ali has been in the number 6 spot. But what do you think it is about Kadim's skill set that allows him to provide something a little different and unique in that role?
Yeah, I think you see in the game, his ability defensively to win challenges, to win the ball, to really be aggressive. Also very good in the air, and I think he showed a lot of those qualities in the match. And it was one of those things, with Ali being out and red card or not, it was probably a game he wasn't gonna play in. But it's also making sure that we can activate another player. Kadim is one of those guys who hasn't had a lot of minutes this year. Call it national team camps, a few injuries when he's come back from these camps. They've put him off rhythm, and then you have an excellent Ali who's been fully healthy and ready to go in each game and been vital to us, finishing top of the table. This was a great opportunity for Kadim to get in there. We know what games are coming next, and we want to make sure we've got everyone ready and prepared. So it was a great opportunity for him to get there, Chris Colongo, who's been excellent for us all year, to make sure he's ready and prepared in getting that game as well. So, we moved around a few pieces with some of the guys, and then the same thing off the bench.
Yeah, I was just going to get into that in terms of activating other players. We saw Mateo Orlandis come in toward the end of the game, and then two guys who've been recovering from injury for a long time, Seba Castello and Terran Campbell, who we haven't seen in a while. So how important was it for them to get minutes, and do you think they're in a good spot heading into playoffs?
Yeah, I think you're in a better spot when you've played and you've stepped on the field than not, and it doesn't matter what minutes you get, but being in a competitive environment always helps. Terran Campbell, he's the guy with the most goals in this league, and
still too,
and, yes, and,
which is insane.
And we haven't had him all season. When you really think about it, Champions Cup, first 3 games of the season. And since then, the 2 injuries, surgery earlier in the year, came back from that and was excellent. And then they had that unfortunate injury in the second leg against Toronto FC that put him back. And, we've missed him. And we can say, we've been excellent and we've been scoring goals. But, yeah, he's a quality player.
Yeah.
He's a quality player that brings goals to the team. So, he's been doing a good job in training and getting himself going fully into training. It was just a matter of finding him the right time in a match and balancing everything as we prepare for this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's exciting to see him back. Virtually the same situation as last weekend, right? With Pacific needing this win, given how close the bottom of the standings were with those 4 teams. So do you look at this result and performance in the same way that you did last week? And just because I want to give you an opportunity to share your overall thoughts, even though it's likely on to the next year.
Yeah, pretty much kind of the same thing. Anything you get after clinching is bonus, and you always have to put things into perspective, because you can chase things, you can tire out players, you can do a lot of different things, but training and what we're doing is all geared towards having a team prepared to play on October 27th. And that's sometimes tough to do as a coach, because you want your players to win each game, to do everything, but you also got to make sure that you don't burn out a group that's already clinched something, that's already achieved something, and make sure that they're hungry for what's next and what's really going to count. So that's been a kind of our focus. And the players know that. Sometimes it's hard to say that outwards in the media and so on, and what we're going to see in the next few games. It's just that way, message stays consistent to the players. They stay sharp in what we need to do, work through processes. And now we're in this week of preparing for what is another important game for us. We know what's at stake here is being able to host a final, and we want to make sure, that the 2 games that we host here at Tim Hortons Field are this Sunday and the final on November 9th.
Okay, one other thing regarding the specific game and the upcoming playoff games that I want to touch on quickly is Daniel's absence. As most people know now, he has been suspended for 3 games after some conflict with the Atletico team. So how does the club navigate a situation like this, and how do you ensure that if there is the opportunity for him to play in the final, he is informed by then?
Yeah, with all of these things, one, we look at the processes that deal with discipline and make sure we take the right steps to deal with that, to making sure everything's done in a proper and fair process, because in all of these situations, there's due process that's involved, making sure we're doing right by a player. And then beyond that, it's the players fully involved in what's going on the training pitch, engaged with the team. So if that time is there and it's ready for him to be active or not, he's prepared. So that's simple, on the field, and then just off the field, we need to make sure we go through all the processes that are needed.
Mm-hmm. I talked to Jelani about the processes, and he says he feels like a lawyer because of how much reading he's done.
I mean, it's important, because in all of this, it's not as clear cut as sometimes what's going on in a play, but there's a process that goes into it, and we always look at that for each one of our players.
Okay. Sunday, as you said, some things to consider, not only getting into the final, but hosting it. So another rematch of 2023, something that we've seen before, but what's the mentality of the group right now, and how high do you really feel the stakes are?
Yeah, I think the mentality is very good, and the players know where we are. They know where we're going to be from a few weeks back, and these are the situations and the places that you play the season for. You play the season to get into these big matches. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. So it's not our first time playing in these types of matches, and we hope it's not going to be our last time. But the players understand, how to prepare. How to get ready for this. We're not reinventing the wheel in 1 week. We're playing a team that we've played 4 times in the season. We know their strengths. We know their weaknesses. I'm sure they're doing the same thing on their end. And in these games is about execution, and then a particular attention and concentration to all the details that go into this match.
Yeah. Okay, well, you said it there. You know their strengths. You know their weaknesses. You've played the team 4 times this season, but this will be your 31st matchup against them overall. I know you had a conversation with Milty earlier today, and so did he and I, and he enlightened me on some statistics. 14 wins for Forge, 8 draws, and 8 losses. Aggregate scoring is 36-31 in favor of Forge. And Milty was saying, in doing some research, comparing teams, like big clubs in Europe, it takes between 10 and 12 years to accumulate stats like that. So knowing that you have such a unique opportunity like this to build a rivalry so intense like this one within the CPL, how special do you think that is? And is there still a sense of unpredictability when it comes to a matchup like this, having so many reps against the club?
Yeah, I think the number of the games is just, one, it's inflated in our league because we play everyone 4 times, and in the first year 5 times in regular season because we're an unbalanced schedule with only 7 teams.
Okay, yeah.
So if you just do that all together, that's 25 games right there.
According to my calculations.
Yes. So, 25 games are a regular season. We've played other teams in our league probably 27 times as well. So, it's just it's a few more, and what's happened in the past is the past. That's what I always say. It's, even what's happened last month or 4 months ago, that's out of the way because these are just single matches, and your focus is 100% on that, and we know you need to be as close to flawless as possible in these games, and that's the most important thing, because it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You're still going to face the same difficulties. You're going to create some opportunities. They're going to create some opportunities. You want to go up in the score because that gives a lot of momentum in a game. It's going down in a score in these types of games always gives a lot of confidence to a team. Now, we also saw last year that we spun that very quickly in the finals, going down in a playoff game. So that's the confidence that we have. That doesn't matter what's going on in the game. We know that the only thing that counts is the final whistle. Not really what's going on in the game, because, every game can be turned, every game can be added on. A lot of things can happen within it. So it's about the 90-plus minutes that we put into it.
Yeah. Well, I talked to a few of the guys this morning after practice and just was trying to poke to see whether or not they were looking for Cavalry or Ottawa, because I know at one point we didn't know who it was going to be, and they're like, it wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah. It's the same approach either way.
Yeah, I think it's something we always, because we don't really talk about the opponent, a lot. We don't single out that, hey, we want these guys because it's favorable for this or that. It doesn't make a difference, and it has nothing to do with our opponents, because it all has to do with our preparation. If we're prepared well, we're going to give ourselves a good chance or give ourselves a good opportunity to win a match, and that's the only thing we can control.
Sorry to bring my phone out.
Yes.
I'm texting our guest to tell him that it's his time to move segments. You might want to clear a spot. Hey!
What are you doing here?
Welcome. Please have a seat.
This is our guest today?
Jelani Smith. Welcome to Behind the Beard. I'm going to give you my mic. Okay. I'll ask the questions, and I want you two to do most of the talking.
Welcome.
Hey, Coach, what's going on?
Why are we sitting so close to each other?
I can move back. I can scoot.
I was thinking about it the other day.
What do we have? Questions?
Yeah, we've got questions. I
feel like I'm a bad mic holder, so we get this. So do you?
Yeah,
Nah, you just got to do it. She just dropped her phone.
Yeah,
It's okay.
It's fine.
So here's where all this practice of Jelani doing the pre-show come into.
Yes.
Right?
I did a pre-show?
You always come in for the pre-show.
Oh, no, I let him in your office. This is different.
I
let her in the office. I don't have a pre-show. Oh, boy.
Jelani, how's your workday?
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, a lot to do. A lot to do. A lot of working pieces, as Coach knows. But
You said that you were being a lawyer, by the way.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Pursued another.
young Johnny Cochran over this week. Tell you what, rest in peace, my man.
All right. I'm gonna spin the game. So typically what I do with players on Max Access is like a most likely to, and I've done like different interviews with two guys. I remember the first version of Max Access I did was with Malik and Kwesi and Seba and Chris, and I just asked them questions and they basically said which statement pertains to which person.
Boy.
So we're gonna do a similar thing. Bobby never really gets the games until we start playing, but let me start with, what's the earliest memory you have of Jelani?
Oh God.
I wish I knew about this game. I'd show you guys some pictures.
Oh God.
What's your earliest memory?
I want to give people
Just this big human being looking for a place to play after coming back from Europe. I want to say 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Before that, I remember him as a youth soccer player, as a striker. And that's why it was surprising when he came to me and he's like, Coach, I'd like to come out and train. Hey, how are things going? Where have you been playing? Well, I was, touring around or playing a little bit in Europe as a center back.
Question mark.
Center back. And, the rest is history. After that, gave me a hard time as I coached him in League One as a center back and made some cameos at striker and scored some great goals.
It's fantastic.
Does that add up
goals.
for you?
It does actually. It's pretty accurate. I'll say.
What are yours for Bobby? I know you say you can't really remember him pre-beard. Is that still... Or no, you can't remember him mid-beard. My apologies.
Mid-beard.
Yes.
I remember no beard. Honestly, my first one was probably when I was in trouble at camp. I was sitting down during the Sigma camp in the summertime there, and I was a coach at the time. And he walked over calmly, didn't yell at me, and said, "Listen, you're going to stand up right now because coaches, the parents can see you right now. And off lease isn't a good solution right now.
Oh.
So, but you're not doing it right now.
Yeah, you have to wait till I walk
You're
away.
gonna wait till I walk away, and then you're going to get up. And you're going to sit down the rest of the time we're here. Tell you what,
You were like...
I got up after, didn't sit again.
Never
All
sat down again.
Question is, did he ever wear sunglasses or a hat at camp?
Did you?
I didn't wear sunglasses, but I wore a cone on my head.
A cone?
As a visor, like it was one of the large cones on my head as a visor. That wasn't appropriate either.
Was that okay?
Yeah, it was a
So
no.
you probably had some words.
Again,
For the camp.
Yeah. Most memories are coaches reprimanding me.
Okay, well, I'm glad we could just lay the groundwork for this game.
Now, he hasn't said what it was like when he didn't start playing in League One game and how that went.
Oh, God.
Because there's not a worse player to have on the bench than Jelani Smith.
What? Why?
So it happened twice. So then I let Coach John at the time, Coach John Zervos, who's coaches the League One team, know now that he's either starting or never in the 18. Because he's never
not even dressing.
He's never being on the bench. The man wouldn't close his mouth.
What? Just
Like 90 minutes of it was. I did not stop talking from the moment the whistle blew until Coach,
about the game?
just in general.
Just in general.
And he's like, Coach set me for a warm up. Like
He would just make you go warm up.
Yeah. And the second time, he told Coach John to tell me some words, and I didn't say anything anymore.
Okay.
But yeah. Entertaining for me at least. Not for Coach while he's focused and locked in.
Like headphones on. Who do you think between the two of you would try the hardest in playing sports against kids? Like, let's say you have a camp and you have to be involved in a drill or a scrimmage.
No, I'll use this one. Definitely Jelani. Definitely Jelani.
This feels like the debate where like one mic is muted and one person gets
I think, kid would get the hand to the face, the push, score. He'd celebrate.
Body check,
in front of
celly
all
on
of
the
them.
kid.
Yeah, all of it. All of it together. With a smile. So he wouldn't have that serious look, but really he'd be serious. He's like, I'm going to beat these kids. That's definitely him.
Right, like
He's not lying.
he's not lying.
You
Children.
compete in everything.
Always. It's
Always.
a lesson too.
Always.
Gotta keep 'em on their
If you and I
toes.
are throwing paper into the garbage disposal, I want to beat you. So kids are getting, smush, tackled.
Smush.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulders. engagements. Yeah, don't worry about it.
And then after, I'll probably take a group picture with him too.
Yeah, okay, kids, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all like crying. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
And he's got 2 thumbs up in the air. That's him.
Who do you think is most likely to get away with murder? This is a layup.
Just circling back to the first question here.
Yeah.
Meticulous
Everything.
and planned. Coach.
Honestly,
100%. That he also knows a lot about everything, so I feel as though he'd have the knowledge.
like
to
random
get away.
stuff. Yeah.
Random doesn't even do justice to what. Ask him anything about history. It's unbelievable.
I have.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'd get away with the murder pretty.
Not something I'd like to be labeled with.
It's not something you'd like to be labeled with. Let's get that out of the way. I will say I've asked that like many times to like different athletes, and I haven't been in a situation where I'm like, you could actually get away with murder.
I'm convinced Coach could.
Sorry, do you have any comments?
No.
It's probably best.
I'm going to ask my lawyer.
yeah. We'll save that for later. Okay. How about most likely to not tell anyone it's their birthday on their birthday? I feel like not. Well, sorry. It's not my game.
You want to go with it?
No, what are your answers?
I definitely don't tell anyone it's my
Yeah.
birthday. And Jelani's is right in the middle of the holidays or right on the holidays. So sometimes I think I forget him by a day. No?
Sorry about that. Starts crying.
It's like a late. It's like because my birthday is New Year's Day.
Oh my
so
gosh.
everyone's celebrating
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And you're just
it's like
like-
an afterthought. So like, I was like, is it your birthday? It's like, yeah.
But I see what you mean because it's not going to be one of those where you're like, oh, guys, by the way, I know it's New Year's, but it's also.
Exactly. You can't
Yeah.
insert yourself in the discussion of celebration there. It's like an afterthought. But Coach always says happy birthday, whether it's the first or second. Yeah.
Not great with birthdays.
No.
So a great thing, it's not great what I'm going to say, but you know, my father's birthday
Yeah.
is October 22nd. Yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday was probably one of 5 times in
You've
my life
run it, hey?
where I've told him happy birthday on the day of his birthday and not the day after.
Oh, let's go.
I don't know if that's a
crazy
great
thing to
statistic.
celebrate, actually, though. Yeah. That's your own dad.
For some reason,
I think you've told me
growing
that
up,
before. Yeah.
we've always said happy birthday to him the next day. You want to know why? Because 1, he'll never tell you it's his birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
2 is these Greeks all have 2 birthdays.
These Greeks.
Because it's the day they were actually born and the day they were registered in their village that my grandfather remembered to go say, hey, we had a kid. And let's figure this out what day. So
Hey, by the way, we got another one.
and then I think they got another one when they landed to Canada. So October 22nd is the real one. My grandmother remembers it. She knows it.
Could be 23rd.
That was the one.
I don't think the Greek community would appreciate that.
No, they all know it. They all know it.
Real Greeks, no.
Right?
Okay.
Coach Nikos.
Yeah.
He even says, there was a debate on whether he was born on one day or the next day. His mother obviously knew which day, but his father would argue that he was born the next day. True story.
Okay, so it seems consistent across most
Yeah, there you
Greeks.
go.
Who do you think would die first in a horror movie?
Okay, I'm gonna wait. No, I'm gonna ask you first. Who do you think? Because this is an alley-oop.
Listen, I think
Who do you think?
I think you would be very methodical in the way that you think through
Yeah.
how to survive.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like Jelani.
Yeah, just give me your thought. Like, it's the right thought you have. Just go with it.
Like
I think. Go.
I think Jelani could fight off potentially whatever is the monster. Or
I agree with you. I'm totally with
where
you.
is this going?
2019
Okay,
road trip, Edmonton.
picture this.
We're out for a walk with the staff. I think we went for a drink because we were there for a couple of days. We had played in Calgary and went straight to Edmonton. So we went out downtown Edmonton. Certain parts, aren't the greatest. Just random people. So, on that walk, there's people having conversation with Jelani that we have no clue what they were talking about.
Okay.
What they were trying to sell, buy. It was just very random. Then there were some people that I don't want to say were following us,
But they were lingering.
Yeah, but then there were some whistling sounds going on and whistling sounds from far away. And somehow we started walking down this dark alley. So
Naturally,
it's myself,
you end up in an alley.
Coach Joe, Coach Peter from Belgium, Jelani. And, they're like, "Ooh, this is kind of strange." And I'm like, "Guys, don't worry.
We have Jelani.
We've got Jelani." Now, we were looking back. When we looked forward, Jelani wasn't there anymore. Was not there.
Where did you go?
Jelani went for a little bit of a run. Just when you wear a GPS unit, there's a run, a high-intensity run, and a sprint.
Yeah.
We call it a run. I believe Jelani hit 25 kilometers per hour and faster and sprinted back to the hotel.
My gosh. You
So,
left the three of them in the alley?
Going back to the original question, anything to say?
Yeah, I'd survive because I would.
Because you would run?
Yeah. Listen, in my
outrun you, Bobby.
defense, all the symptoms of a robbery were present. All right, because there was the guy who was talking to us is a distraction or a decoy, we'll say.
What was he saying?
He's like, so is his shirt open like this? He showed me like tattoos. Like, you see his brother? Like this. I'm like, no. And then as we leave the conversation, I hear whistling in the distance. I'm just like, yeah, no.
No, I'm out.
Out of here.
Jelani cut fast.
Signs going back and forth.
Yeah.
So, great story.
Yeah.
2019.
I can't believe I've never heard that
This
before.
actually happened. This is
God.
This is confirmed. I can't deny I'm a sprinter.
How did you, did you...
But I was as confident as you were.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got Jelani.
That's what I'm
good.
saying.
Nice.
If I'm in an alley,
Yeah, this guy.
I've got you. Oh,
No.
did you see him run or were you just, do you see him disappear?
It happened so quickly as they
You were
were
that-
still
As
focused.
we made it around the
Yes.
corner, we can see him a lot further up.
Yeah.
And you made it alive. You made it out alive. Okay. Wow. I think I'm going to thank you so much for coming on for a cameo.
I'm not coming back.
I really think that's like the perfect way to.
Yeah, these felt targeted. Yeah.
We're 1 for 1 for having guests on so
I feel
far.
like you knew that story
I've never heard that.
or the
That's got to be a
or
top
the
moment.
crumbs of that one.
knew
No.
it was coming.
Yeah, this is exactly it. Triggered the moment you said it.
He goes, "Oh,
I said
Edmonton. Can I leave?"
Yeah. Yikes.
All right. Well, we've still got at least a couple weeks left, so consider this not the last time you'll make an appearance.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Jelani.
Appreciate you guys having me.
This has been Behind the Beard with Mackenzie Barwell and Bobby Smirniotis. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.